For the first time in what seems like months, the sky over the chateau is blue, and it feels suspiciously calm, like we're being punked by Mother Nature. Inside, though, our British kitchen plans have taken a more serious turn.
You look like a reporter.
I'm Amanda, reporting from Chateau Longordy. No, I couldn't, I'm wearing a turtleneck, so oftentimes if I put my mic here, then I go to watch the footage and you can't hear. It's like you're at an airport with the announcements. So I have my spatula microphone here. So we thought we would give you a kitchen update.
Progress kind of ground to a halt while we were involved in other things.
I mean, this whole process has taken a lot longer than we had anticipated, from visiting the cabinet makers to actually getting formal, proper prices. We just received the final price from the English cabinet makers. And we have also received the final price from the French cabinet maker. There was some variation in price in the end. The biggest issue with the British cabinet maker were the taxes.
Right.
Which we had known in the back of our head was a possibility.
Well, yes, in France or maybe the EU, probably. If you're doing home renovations, the VAT is 10% rather than 20%, which is a big difference. That doesn't apply to the English cabinet makers. So we have to pay 20% VAT to France.
Now, is that because of Brexit?
Since VAT is an EU law, I'm guessing that it's probably because of Brexit. If they were an EU company, we'd be able to get the 10% rate, but they're not anymore.
Yeah. So all you knuckleheads who voted for Brexit, Brexit has really screwed a lot of things up.
Yeah, more for people on that end than us.
We don't really rely on a lot of British goods, but it would be nice to actually be able to go over there and purchase some things. Sometimes you just can't find everything in France.
Right, there are certain things that are only in England.
Nobody really knew how to approach the tax situation, so we had to do our own digging.
The English cabinet maker said they determined that they didn't have to charge us British VAT because, the tax is due where you're going to use it. But that didn't mean there isn't going to be VAT.
So we discovered that the VAT was 20%.
Well, the total they're charging, including shipping, delivery, and installation for the guys to be staying someplace local for however long it takes to install, all of that together gets 20% charged on it.
So the number we calculated is around 18 to 20,000 euro just in tax. So needless to say, that's a lot of money.
Well, it'd be one thing if the estimate were 20,000 less than the other one we have, but it's not.
Right.
It's more to begin with. That's even worse.
And it's a lot of money, and it's too much money for us.
Well, we were thinking originally that the prices were about the same between the two. And if that were the case, we were sort of leaning toward the British cabinets.
I think that it'll be nice working with the French cabinet maker because they sell appliances as well. They sell La Cornue, so we could have a specialist come in and just make sure it's in working order. He knows a stone guy. He probably knows masons for our fireplace surround that we need to have built. It's going to be a great kitchen. We're super excited. And I think in the back of our minds, we were sort of waiting to pick the company to really start the work. I think it's just that...
Can only think about one thing at a time.
It feels that way. I feel like our brains are just like... We're really excited to welcome back Foreo, the sponsor of our video today. While our chateau ages dramatically, our skin doesn't have to. Lincoln is using the FAQ 202, a next-generation LED mask that boosts the look of his skin. It's made from soft, flexible silicone, so it fits comfortably. It's completely wireless, which means he can continue doing important work while looking super cool and mildly futuristic. The red light peptide serum helps enhance the LED treatment. It uses 8 different wavelengths, including near-infrared light, improves skin tone, also reduces redness, and supports overall skin health. So lately I've been doing a little more traveling, and you know how harsh flying can be. So to combat dry and dull skin, I've been using the UFO3 a few times a week. It really feels like a 90-second spa treatment. I love it so much. We've been using Foreo products for a long time now. They've become part of our daily skincare routine. So for me, I feel like my skin has become brighter and the dark spots are fading away. What about you?
Well, I was kind of self-conscious about fine lines around my eyes, and since using it, they've really been reduced. I can notice a difference.
Foreo is having amazing Women's Day deals right now, and you can use our exclusive code for an extra 30% off on almost everything on their site, even on already discounted items. So click the link below and use our special code at checkout and treat yourself or the incredible women in your life to something special from Foreo. If you ever do any work in France, they have pretty strict laws regarding estimates.
Right. The name in French is devis, D-E-V-I-S, and it's an estimate, but it's an estimate that's binding. And generally they're good for 2 months. I don't know if it varies depending on what it's for.
I thought it was 3 months.
You know, they go through it. It's in detail. I mean, this is like for real.
It's not like a quote where you get in the US, like someone comes to your house and he's like, yeah, I can do that for $900, I think. And then they get there and they're like, oh, well, we had to do this, 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 and this. So now it's $4,000, that kind of a thing. So it's a legally binding contract in that regard. So the price is the price for that 2-month time, and whether you sign it or not, that's up to you. If you let it expire, then you risk the prices increasing. You know, if you get a second one, that's something we never knew before we moved here. So I guess we are pretty much ready to get on with things. It's sunny.
Yes, it is. It's very nice.
So as far as the gardens and the property is concerned, we are really so far behind because we've had 2 solid months of rain. My job is to come out here and sort of play catch up. I think we're going to get some dry weather so I can actually mow. We're going to divide and conquer. Lincoln is going to continue in the kitchen, and I'm going to tackle the outside bits. The hedge has to be trimmed. That is a huge job. And the other day we went to the garden center. I needed a chainsaw. I needed something small enough that I could handle and cut up some smaller branches just to clear a ton of stuff. This guy always scares me. Oh, it's a lady. But this is nice. I'm so excited. Doesn't take much to make me happy these days. This is where I'm going to be parked for the next probably month or so. But the rain has stopped for now. And how are you feeling, sir? You're a good boy, aren't you? No comment from Enzo, but I think he's feeling much better. Poor Enzo. He's got a virus. He's had a high fever. And he got a couple of shots, and he seems to be doing much better. We're so worried about him. Guava, how are you feeling? Happy as a clam. It's time to start the seedlings and get the greenhouse going, which conveniently requires a trip to the garden center. Every time I go, I feel like I'm playing hooky and I've snuck away from my post at the chateau. I usually walk in just to grab some soil or something, but it always pulls me in. I read the labels, I reconsider everything, and I stand in front of the tomato seeds like I'm making some sort of life or death decision. Why is it so hard to decide? And before I know it, half the day is vanished. So this always makes me laugh that you can buy this ivy that's so invasive at our house. So you too can have ivy you'll never be able to kill. How much is that? For only €16.90. So I've struck out. I'm looking for trees for my pots in front of my greenhouse, and I can't seem to make a decision or figure out what's going to look nice. So I'm just going to mix 50-50 vermiculite, and I have some compost here. And then I am going to start my seeds, scallions. Some of these are probably too old to use, but I'm going to give some of them a try. Yeah, I have a lot of seeds here. These aren't even opened. I have some peppers. I'm going to try the bell peppers. A lot of beets. Now, I only have these 2 containers. I know I have a whole bunch more, and of course, I can't locate them. So I'm just going to get some things started today that I think are probably the most urgent, which would be our cayenne peppers, some tomatoes, eggplant. Never had luck with eggplant outside here. I've had some luck with tomatoes, only growing against the wall, but you're kind of limited, and they never complete a growing season. And I want to get some pumpkins. And I think I might do some carrots too, get some carrots in early. Pardon the interruption, but if you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. It really helps our channel grow. You'll see renovations, cute animals, garden porn, cooking, and sometimes we even leave the chateau and go somewhere. Now back to the video. And I've just propped my planter up so I can paint it. I'm going to paint it a dark color because when I walk out into the garden, it's just too much of a contrast for me. I just see this wood structure. It really helps if I read paint cans before I grab them and just start painting. I realized that this is oil-based paint. So that's for metal. And I was like, oh wow, it smells funny. And I'm like, duh. And I don't really like the color. Anyway, I think that's why I have such a small can of this. It's just too much of a weird blue-gray for me. I don't enjoy this color. Okay, I'm thinking that's a big no. I feel like it's too bright. I think it will bother me. So I'm going with the black, and then the greenery of the vegetables and everything will look nicer. This is a pretty color, but not for this particular project. So maybe I'll paint something else. So I still need to finish painting my planter so I can get some debris in the bottom. I'll probably use, I have some old hay from the donkeys and any kind of sticks and garden debris, because obviously you don't want to waste your soil and fill this entire thing up. You just need probably, like for what I'm going to do, maybe halfway with debris and then the rest soil. For now, I'm going to get some lettuce in that I've purchased just to have some greens. These are my little seedlings I've started in my bathroom, and I have heat mats underneath, which I think are essential. Aubergine, so we have one starting there. Ooh, we have one there. Black tomatoes seem to be doing really well. The tomatoes are up. Now these are peppers here. The peppers take a long time. Looks like it's all clear out here. Guava! Oh, this is massive. This just came down. So the top just got cut off. This is like a pine or something. That's massive. Okay, I'm venturing into the woods on a Sunday morning and dressed all in black, and this isn't the wisest thing to do. My no hunting sign is down. Guava! Oh, for fuck's sake. Hey! Yeah, see, there's somebody over here. People. Guava! Come on! Yeah, see, they're hunters over there in the forest. That's why I come out. Because I'm the nightmare lady. So that dog ran into our property, so they're hunting something. I don't know if it's one person or two. I can sniff the hunters out a mile away. Come on, Guava! I just don't want these people on my property. Lincoln thinks I'm nuts for coming out here most of the time, but I don't care. And the donkeys are really good at protecting us. So I didn't film it, but a deer just came running through this way. And that's probably what the hunters are after. And they're not allowed to kill on our property. Excuse me for yelling, but I'm just trying to get these people out of here. So see, the donkeys are looking the other direction, so maybe they went through that other field. I see a hunter. I think this guy's been sniffing around for a couple weeks, and I don't know who he is. So they're over there. It just pisses me off that I have to do this, and I know hunting is the French culture, but when they're allowed to go on private property, that just kind of rubs me the wrong way and pisses me off. And I'm sorry if I'm sounding bitter this morning, but I am. I don't think I should have to do this and to have to police my property. And I get that the deer population needs to be thinned, so call me the countryside Karen. That's me. Countryside Karen. See the donkeys, look. If you guys ever need watch animals, get some donkeys. They're really fantastic. Hopefully that deer has found refuge on our land, and then, you know. Oh, it's a really crazy situation. All right, I think I've chased them off. I'm going to stay out here a little while longer and yell. I mean, who wouldn't be unnerved about random men wandering your property with guns? It's something I'll never get used to. I'm sorry. I know there's a hunting culture, but look at donkeys. Look at my donkeys. Hello. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and if you have something to say, leave us a comment.